Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute since I've done some car photography content, so I wanted to hop into this. I do have my little notepad here with my notes. That way I do not lose track. I know you guys like these videos. My last one is popping off right now. It just hit over 2,000 views. So without further ado, today's video is 10 tips for car photographers in under 10 minutes. For those that don't know, guys, a brief overview. I traveled the country for almost 3 years doing automotive photography. I'll put up a few of my pictures here. I see tons of YouTube videos with a lot of people that shoot cars here and there and they give their input. So I wanted to give you guys input from someone that's done this professionally for 3+ years. So without further ado, let's get into this. So number one is rolling shots. Who does not love a good rolling shot, right? So one of the most common questions I see people comment under posts is, hey, what shutter speed are you using? Now, there's never going to be one proper shutter speed because it depends on the lighting, the speed. So my general rule of thumb for rolling shots, let's say you're going 35 miles an hour. You start your shutter speed at 1/40 or 30. You want to match your shutter speed to the speed that you're going. That's a really good starting point. And then from there, if you find out you're getting tons of bangers, they're tack sharp, then you can start to lower your shutter speed. But you don't have to chase the crazy blur. Yes, does 1/8 look awesome? Of course. But let's face it, you're going to take 100 shots and maybe get one that's halfway decent. So do not stress over that. Number two, CPL or bust. I don't know how much more I could emphasize that. If you're shooting vehicles and you are not using a circular polarizer, for me personally, if I went to a shoot and I didn't have that, the shoot is chalked. You need one. They're cheap. I personally use some from Amazon. I've gotten some from Best Buy. You don't need the most expensive one. I know there's like B&W, there's Hoya, there's like the Peter McKinnon ones. Guys, you don't need the most expensive one. Don't let the things fool you. Any CPL is going to work. If you could afford the nicer ones, go for it. But guys, honestly, the $20 to $30 ones are going to be just fine. And you can view my work. You're not going to notice that difference whatsoever. Number three, finding locations. They are a pain in the butt, right? Some of you guys are watching this right now and you're probably trying to find a location for a shoot coming forward. Google Maps is your best friend. Google Maps is dope. The main reason, sure, is satellite view cool? Yes. But my favorite thing about Google is the fact that you can do the little, like, put the little money, my buddy thing down. I don't know what you call it. But you place the pin and you can look down from like an actual like point of view. And so that's really neat for spotting certain areas because there have been countless times, guys, where I found what I thought was a super cool spot, went to go drive there, and you can't even get in. But it's because Google Maps is sometimes outdated, but for the most part, it's up to date. But because you don't see certain obstacles, fences, railings, that sort of stuff. So when you go down to the first person view and you look out, clutch. Super, super nice there. Number four, go to car shows, go to events, network. So a lot of you guys that are watching this are probably aware of like the car culture. A lot of people are into stance, like stance cars right now is huge. It's kind of flooded the internet. Odds are if you have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you've seen it all. Go out to those events. Reason being also like Cars and Coffee. So Cars and Coffee, not only are they free to go to, but you're going to have a nice audience there. Most of the demographic that goes to those is a little bit more mature. When you're more mature, odds are you're a little bit older. When you're a little bit older, you get a little bit more of this. So go there, shoot some events. We're going to touch on this point a little bit more, a little bit later in this clip for number 7. But number 5, do not let your gear hold you back. Now, I remember when I first started out, got my Sony a6000, didn't know anything about crop sensor or full frame. I just knew Sony was a good brand and I had it at Best Buy using it and I loved it. Got that camera gear and then I learned about full frame. I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to quit my life. I need to go get a full frame camera. I need to take out a massive loan because, full frame is so much better. Not totally true. There's benefits, there's pros and cons, but never let the gear slow you down. If you're concerned about gear, I would say definitely invest in lenses or glass versus buying a new body. Having a cheaper camera with a really expensive lens is going to be far more beneficial than an expensive camera with cheap glass. So keep that in mind. Also, think about your ecosystem and what you're going to stick with. Like, do not spend a ton of money on Canon and then decide to go to Sony because it's going to be a lot more difficult to sell that gear and make up all the money you spent. So think about that stuff going into it. Number 6, do not buy other people's presets. I can't stress that enough. There's so many large influencers that try to sell their presets, and that to me is just diminishing the creativity that photography is. I mean, photography is an art. That'd be the same if you printing out a painting from Van Gogh and trying to sell it like it's original artwork. It's not. With photography, you can take inspiration from people, but do not take their presets. Do not buy them. Take the aspects that you like from their editing style and incorporate it into yours. Once you do that, you have the best of both worlds and people are going to know your content for it being yours. There's so many times that I see people, and I'm not going to name the guy's name, but he's from Europe, that use his presets and it just looks gross, and you know it's not your work. Like, it's very distinguishable that it's his work. So just keep an eye on that. Do not do that. So number 7, like I said, this is kind of touching on the same as number 4, car shows. So when you go to car shows, specifically like indoor events, those people paid anywhere between, we'll say, $45 to $60 for their car to be at an indoor show. What does that tell you? They got money. So go there, pay your admission fee, 20, 25 bucks, whatever it costs to get in there, and photograph at least 1 or 2 pictures of every car that you like, or just every car in general. If you got the time, shoot it all. Reason being, if those people paid, 45, 60 bucks to get in, they're going to pay 50 bucks to 100 bucks for photos, because they need those photos to get into those shows, and they care about their image. So anything that they can do to get on social media, they're going to opt in for. So definitely network, have business cards, have your social media pulled up, talk to them, all that good stuff. I promise you will get more clients that way. Number 8. So going back to the lenses, I was a big prime guy. I have so many primes and I love them. But the main thing is, when you're at shows or different events, you don't want to be sitting there swapping them, because guess what? Dust is going to get on your sensor. You're not going to realize it. You're going to get home, edit the photos, and it's going to be all splotchy. We don't want that. So I recently got a 24 to 72.8, and I love it. Zoom lenses are dope. You don't always need to be at f1.4, f1.8. Honestly, I think images shot at f2.8 or higher apertures look really, really good, because more of the vehicle's in focus, and the more that you have to focus on the actual subject and the background will in turn make for better compositions and just overall better imagery compared to just shooting at 1.4 no matter where you're at. So keep that in mind, that you can buy one really, really good lens like a 24 to 70 f2.8, and that's going to cover 99% of your shooting needs, instead of buying 3 or 4 prime lenses. So different strokes for different folks. I have both. Keep that in mind when you're considering buying them. Number 9, and this is a big one. Do not let social media change how you shoot. So I am the perfect example. Starting out, I love shooting landscape, and then I got into Instagram, and oh my goodness, once I hit 1,000 followers, it's like, oh, this is a big deal, and then it's grew. But I stopped shooting landscape and I started shooting portrait, because Instagram preferred that style of content. The bigger the post, the more eyes on it, the more likes, the more followers. And is that cool? Absolutely. But you take away from your creativity, because you're always shooting in portrait. So my advice to you guys watching this, shoot however you like. If that's the content that you want and that's where you want to post it only, by all means go for that. But I prefer now shooting in landscape, and you can always crop into that portrait aspect ratio. But this way, landscape, I think a lot of publications, they prefer it that way. It looks more professional. So just something to keep in mind there. But I do recommend shooting in whatever style you prefer the most. Do not let social media dictate that. Number 10, guys, this is one that I can't stress enough, and I don't see it stressed enough online, is if you don't enjoy the content that you are producing, how can you expect others to enjoy it? So that's one of those, you have to sit and think about that one a little bit more. Reason I say that is because if you don't love it, odds are you're not giving it 100%. And if you're giving it 100% and you don't love it, that just means you need to keep trying and keep practicing. But I know for me, I went through a period of time where I was just producing content because I just wanted to make money. I just, any shoot I could get, I would do it. I would do it fast. And was it great for the money? Sure. But I really it wasn't a passion at that point. It became more of like a job, and I wasn't producing the best work I can. When you enjoy your work, it is infectious. You just have a different charisma, a different ego. You're able to just talk. People can pick up on that stuff. So especially when you're networking at shows and you have awesome work to show people, you just feel so darn good. It's infectious, and they're going to catch on. So there you guys go. I hope I kept this under 10 minutes. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like. It helps your boy out a ton. Consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing more of these videos because I truly love photography, specifically car photography. It has been a passion of mine for years, even though this year I've taken some time off, but I love it so, so much. And I want to bring value to you guys, because I'm hoping that this can, in some way, shape, or form, impact one of you guys and hopefully make it a little bit easier. But I'm rambling. I love you guys. If you enjoyed the video, again, smash that like button. Helps your boy out a ton. Drop a comment below. If you guys have any questions, comments, would love to hear about it. Give me some video suggestions on what I could do next, and I will catch you all in the next upload. Peace out, guys.